Kumbh Mela has its own religious importance. It is held every once in 12 years. Kumbh Mela no doubt is the largest gathering of faith. People participate in the Mela, bathe in the sacred river. But have you thought what is the meaning of Kumbh? Why is it celebrated? Who started Kumbh Mela? Or what is the story of Kumbh Mela? Let us know it through this video. The word Kumbh in Kumbh Mela literally means pitcher, jar or a pot in Sanskrit. It is found in Vedic texts in the sense of often is context of holding water or in mythical legends about the nectar of immortality. The word Kumbh or its derivatives are found in Rig Veda. In astrological texts, the term also refers to zodiac sign of Aquarius. The word Mela means unite, join, meet, assembly in Sanskrit, particularly in context of fairs, community celebration. This word too is found in Rig Veda and other ancient Hindu texts. Thus, Kumbh Mela means an assembly, meet or union around the water or nectar of immortality. The history of Kumbh Mela is related to days when gods and demons conjointly produce the nectar of immortality as depicted by the legends. The gods and the demons agreed to complete the task together and decided to share the nectar of immortality in half. The gods and the demons then assembled on the shore of Milk Ocean that lies in the celestial region of the cosmos. The churning of the Milk Ocean produced a deadly poison which Lord Shiva drank. After crossing through many hurdles years later, Dhanavantri appeared with nectar of immortality in her hands. The gods forcibly seized the pot with its safety and entrusted onto 4 gods: Brahaspati, Surya, Shani and Chandra. Thereafter the demon chased the Devtas for many days. During this time, the drops of Kumbh dropped at 4 places: Prayagraj, Haridwar, Ujjain and Nasik. These 4 places are since then believed to have acquired mystical powers. The fight for Kumbh, that is the sacred pitcher between gods and demons, continued for 12 divine days, which is considered to be as long as 12 years for humans. That is why Kumbh Mela is celebrated once in 12 years and gathering took place on the mentioned sacred places or holy sites. It is said that during this period the rivers turned into Amrit and so several pilgrims from across the world visit the Kumbh Mela to bathe in the essence of purity and immortality. The venue for Kumbh Mela is decided according to the position of the sun, moon, Jupiter hold in the period in different zodiac signs. Since then, Kumbh Mela is celebrated with all the ritual beliefs and people from different aspects gather to celebrate the Eid. Many devout Hindus believe that Kumbh Mela originated in times immemorial and is assisted in Hindu mythology about Samudra Manthan found in Vedic texts. Scholars, in the contrast, question these claims as none of the ancient or medieval era texts that mention the Samudra Manthan legend ever link it to Mela or festival. According to Giorgio Bonazzoli, a scholar of Sanskrit Puranas, these are anachronist explanation and adaptation of early legends to later practice by a small circle of devotees who have sought roots of highly popular pilgrimage and festival. While Kumbh Mela phrase is not found in the ancient or medieval era texts, numerous chapters and verses in Hindu texts are found about bathing festival, sacred junction of rivers Ganga, Yamuna and mythical Saraswati and Prayagraj and pilgrimage to Prayagraj. These are in form of Nana rituals and are in form of Prayaga Mahatmya. According to Hindu mythology, Kumbh Mela is an important and religious festival which is celebrated 4 times in the course of 12 years. The location of the festival keeps rotating between 4 pilgrimage sites situated on banks of holy rivers. These places are Haridwar on Ganga in Uttarakhand, Ujjain in Shipra River in Madhya Pradesh, Nasik on Godavari River in Maharashtra and Prayagraj at confluence of 3 rivers Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati in Uttar Pradesh. Last year, Kumbh Mela began from 15th January 2019 at Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh and ended on 4th March 2019. Earlier in 2003 to 2004, Kumbh Mela was elected at Nasik, Triambakeshwar. Mahakumbh Mela. It is held only in Prayagraj. It comes every 144 years or after 12 Purna Kumbh Melas. Purna Kumbh Mela, it comes every 12 years. Mainly held at 4 Kumbh Mela places in India, that is Prayagraj, Haridwar, Nasik and Ujjain. It rotates every 12 years at these 4 places. Ardha Kumbh Mela, it means half Kumbh Mela which is held every 6 years in India only at 2 places, that is Haridwar and Prayagraj. Magha Kumbh Mela, it is also known as Mini Kumbh Mela which is held annually and only at Prayagraj. It is organized in the month of Magha according to Hindu calendar. The Kumbh Mela is said to be a site of tragedies. According to Sharaf-ud-Din Ali Yazdi, a historian, raider and conqueror, Timur and his armies plundered Haridwar and massacred the gathered pilgrims. Timur ruthlessly slaughtered pilgrims who were likely attending Kumbh Mela of 1399. Several stampedes have occurred at Kumbh Melas. After 1820 stampede at Haridwar, which killed 485 people, the East India Company government took extensive infrastructure projects, including construction of new ghats and road widening to prevent further stampedes. The various Kumbh Melas in the 19th and 20th century witnessed stampedes, each tragedy leading to changes in how and flow of pilgrims to and from the river and ghats were managed. In 1986, 50 people were killed in the stampede. The Prayagraj Kumbh Mela in 1885 became a source of scandal when a Muslim named Hussain was appointed as the manager of Kumbh Mela. The Indian newspaper reported that Hussain had organized a flotilla of festooned boats for the pleasure of European ladies and gentlemen and entertained them with dancing, girls, liquor and food as they watched the pilgrims bathing. The historical and modern estimates of attendance vary greatly between sources. For example, colonial era Imperial Gazette of India reported between 2 to 2.5 million pilgrims attended Kumbh Mela in 1796 and 1808. Between 1892 and 1908, in an era of major famines, cholera and plague epidemics in British India, pilgrims dropped between 3 lakh to 4 lakh. During World War II, the colonial government banned Kumbh Mela to conserve scarce supplies of fuels. The ban, coupled with false rumors that Japan planned to bomb and commit genocide at Kumbh Mela site, led to sharply lower attendance in 1942. After India's independence, the attendance rose sharply. On Amavasya, one of the 3 key bathing dates, over 5 million people attended in 1954 Kumbh Mela. In total, there are about 10 million people attended in 1977 and 15 million in 1989. On 1998, over 10 million pilgrims attended Kumbh Mela at Haridwar. In 2007, Ardha Kumbh Mela, a 45-day-long festival, estimates say that over 70 million people attended it. In 2013 Purna Kumbh Mela, over 120 million pilgrims attended the festival. In the 2019 Ardha Kumbh Mela at Prayagraj, government spent about 42,000 million rupees on temporary city, over 2,500 hectares with 122,000 temporary toilets, range of accommodations from simple tents to 5-star tents, 800 special trains, artificially intelligent video surveillance, analytics by IBM, disease surveillance, river transport of Inland Waterways Authority of India, and HAP to help visitors. The Kumbh Mela attracts tens of millions of pilgrims. Providing for safe and pleasant temporary stay at festival site is a complex and challenging task. The camping, food, water, sanitation, emergency healthcare, fire services, policing, disaster management, preparation, movement of people require significant prior planning. Further, assistance to those with special needs and lost family members through lost and found centers demand extensive on-site communication and coordination. In the case of 2019 Kumbh Mela, which was held in Prayagraj, in particular, the festival site is predominantly submerged during the monsoon months. The festival management workers have only 2.5 months to start the complete reconstruction of all temporary infrastructure necessary for pilgrims, making the task even more challenging. In 2013, the Indian government authorities, in coordination with Seva volunteers, monks and Indian companies, set up 11 sectors with 55 camp clusters, providing round-the-clock first aid, ambulance, pharmacy sector cleaning up, sanitization, food and water distribution, cooking oil and other services. According to 13-day field study of 2013 Kumbh Mela, found that the Mela Committee and all the other agencies involved in Mela management successfully supervised the event, made it convenient and efficient and safe. An assessment shared by US-based Center for Disease Control for Nasik Kumbh Mela. Bathing or a dip in the river waters with a prayer is the central ritual of Kumbh Mela for all pilgrims. Traditionally, on Amavasya, the most cherished day of bathing, the Hindu pilgrims welcome and wait for 13 sadhu akharas to bathe first, followed by the pilgrims. The bathing ritual by the pilgrims may be aided by a priest or may be a simple dip in private. When added, the rituals may begin with shaving of the head, prayers and offerings such as flowers, milk, coconut, along with recitation of hymns with prayers in honor of one's ancestors. More elaborate ceremonies include yagna held by priests. After riverside rituals, the pilgrims then take a dip dip in water, stands up for the prayer for a short while, then exits the river water. Many then proceed to visit old Hindu temples near the site. Motivation for bathing ritual are several. The most significant is the belief that the pilgrimage to Kumbh Mela site and then bathing in those holy rivers have salvic value, a means to liberation from the cycle of rebirth. The pilgrimage is also recommended in Hindu texts to those who have made mistakes or sinned, repent their errors as a means of penance for their mistakes. After the end of 2019 Kumbh Mela, scores of workers were dismantling the vast pop-up city they had built, a temporary megapolis 2/3 the size of Manhattan, containing more than 4,000 tents erected to house pilgrims, organizers, cultural programs and shrines. The temporary infrastructure organizers needed to lay down ahead of the time was extensive: 185 miles of temporary metal roads, nearly dozen of bridges, 120,000 toilets and more than 100 police stations or posts. Sanitization and cleanliness of the city rivers were other key focus. In 2013, pollution levels in Sangam increased significantly after just the first day of the event, when 8 million people took the holy dip. In 2019, extra water from dams and upstreams were released into Ganga ahead of the start of the pilgrimage to ensure constant flow and avoid stagnation that could lead to disease. Organizers say the efforts to keep the rivers clean are ongoing through the cleanup. Critics though say that given much of the temporary city was erected on part of Prayagraj riverbed, which is currently dry, the remaining rubbish could be washed into the river, if not cleared before the tide changes in the summer. There are other signs that for all the talk of clean Kumbh, the societal mindset changes required to achieve the government's broader nationwide sanitization campaign are still far from complete. Kumbh Mela has received extensive media coverage with several documentaries and films based on it. Kumbh Mela has been the theme for many documentaries, including Kings with Straw Mats, directed by Ira Cohen, Kumbh Mela, The Greatest Show on Earth, directed by Graham Day, Shortcut to Nirvana, Kumbh Mela, directed by Nick Day and produced by Maurizio Benizzo. In 2007, National Geographic filmed and broadcasted a documentary of Prayagraj Kumbh Mela, named Inside Nirvana, under the direction of Karina Holden, with the scholar Khama McClellan as a consultant. In 2013, National Geographic Channel returned and filmed the Inside the Mahakumbh. The Indian and foreign news media have covered the Kumbh Mela regularly. On 28 April 2010, BBC reported an audio and video report on Kumbh Mela titled Kumbh Mela Greatest Show on Earth. Young siblings getting separated at Kumbh Mela were once a recurring theme in Hindi movies. Kumbh Mela is widely regarded as world's largest religious gathering. The coordinators and attendees themselves state the part of the glory of the Kumbh festival is in the feeling of brotherhood and love, where millions peacefully gather on river banks in harmony and sense of shared heritage. The next Kumbh Mela begins on Sunday 9th April 2028 and hence on Monday 8th May 2028 in Ujjain.